has the coaching carousel already started spinning for 2024? No, not yet. But let's give it a week or two and then it'll start spinning. No, we're going to be talking about who is on the hot seat at the beginning of the season, according to Pete Thamel and ESPN. Welcome to episode 409 of College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, please subscribe to our channel, smash the like button if you like our content. Share the video with your family and friends. Let's not waste any more time. Pete Thamel, ESPN. We're going to be skipping part of the article. We're going to get right into the meat of it. I just want to set it up by showing you this part where it says, one way that the modern financial realities could impact the carousel is that athletic directors could be firing coaches earlier than the historic norms. Last year, the first firings not for an off-field issue came November 12th. Texas A&M Jimbo Fisher and Boise State's head coach Andy Avalos. Both UConns, Randy Edsall and Southern Miss Jay Hobson, exited the first week of the 2021-2020 seasons, respectively. And in 2022, there were 6 power conference jobs open by Halloween. One industry source noted the athletic directors can feel the financial momentum slipping away earlier than in prior years because they are raising NIL money in the spring and can't get traction. When that momentum is gone, it can expedite a change earlier in the fall. That makes sense. If they realize a team isn't going to make the playoff, observed another industry source, they'll get a head start on the next job. What will those jobs be in this cycle? Let's get right to it. The ACC, according to Pete Thamel, ESPN, nobody is on the hot seat in the ACC. Very interesting. I was expecting the name Tony Elliott to be named on the hot list. But according to Pete Thamel, the ACC coaching carousel looms as a litmus test for investment. There are now 17 schools in the league for football, with a distinct variance in how much they care about football. The fragile jobs here, Cal's 4 straight losing seasons, and Virginia's struggles to launch under Tony Elliott appear to have too much to overcome in terms of buyouts. Virginia has been tepid at investing in football. It opened a new facility this summer, decades later than the competitors. It has been a non-factor in NIL conversations. Elliott isn't likely in significant trouble, even though he's only gone 6-16. He's well respected in the athletic department, and he'd be owed nearly $15 million if he were fired at the end of the year. Is Virginia really going to pay out $15 million? California is in the exact same situation. If they would fire Justin Wilcox at the end of the year, he would be owed more than $15 million. I happen to believe the California Bears are going to go 6-6. I think they can make a bowl game. But anyways, Justin Wilcox would be owed more than $15 million. So according to Pete Thamel and ESPN, Justin Wilcox is not on the hot seat. Pat Narduzzi would be owed more than $40 million. So Pat Narduzzi is not on the hot seat either, no matter how the Pittsburgh Panthers do during the 2024 season. So nobody on the hot seat in the ACC, according to Pete Thamel. What about the Big 12? Baylor, Dave Aranda led Baylor to the best season in school history in 2021. It would have been hard, impossible, to project him in this spot here in 2024. Excuse me. Baylor won the Big 12 championship in 2021. And now Dave Aranda is on the hot seat. The move is something the school does not want to do. But after a 2-year backslide to 6-7 and 3-9, the administration needs to see the trajectory set in a different direction. Aranda would be owed somewhere between $15 and $19 million if he was fired. Holy smokes. The Baylor program took the distinct pivot after winning at Oklahoma in early November of 2022. But the Bears closed that season with 4 straight losses and are 3-13 since that point, with 6 double-digit losses last season, including 1 to Texas State. Aranda has changed everything, taking over the defensive play calling himself for this season, hiring a new offensive coordinator. A recruiting uptick offers some positive vibes, but are there enough wins to completely change the momentum? So Dave Aranda is on the hot seat in the Big 12 at the beginning of the season, according to Pete Thamel. Worth monitoring. The industry is fascinated by Colorado. Deion Sanders. Everyone around college football is laughing at how Colorado is allowing Sanders to treat the local media. Will the results justify the drama? So we're going to be keeping an eye on Deion Sanders, of course. But one person listed in the Big 12 hot seat, and that's Dave Aranda. The Big 10, Pete Thamel has nobody listed on the hot seat. Nobody is listed on the hot seat. The Big 10 isn't the place to look, as it's highly unlikely any Big 10 coaches will get fired this year. Even Ryan Day, if the Buckeyes don't win the Big 10 championship, like the fans expect them to do, according to Pete Thamel, Ohio State isn't going to fire Ryan Day. He'd be owed more than $35 million just for him. Firing his assistants would put the price tag well past $45 million. I'm wondering if the Ohio State Buckeye fans and the PATC community agrees with Pete Thamel. Nobody is on the hot seat. Nobody is on the hot seat. Worth monitoring. The 9-game league schedule means a few programs are inherently going to have ugly records and earn a spot here. But with so many new coaches and clearly established veterans with large guaranteed contracts, there's no clear-cut program under fire. So nobody in the ACC is on the hot seat, according to Pete Thamel at the beginning of the season. Nobody in the Big 10 is on the hot seat, according to Pete Thamel and ESPN at the beginning of the 2024 season. Dave Aranda is on the hot seat in the Big 12. Baylor, the SEC, there's a couple people. There's a couple coaches on the hot seat. One, Billy Napier, 11-14 with the Gators. In his buyout would be nearly $26.7 million if he were let go at the end of the regular season. This is the first time since the 1940s that Florida has endured 3 straight losing seasons, including Napier's back-to-back 6-7 and 5-7. It's always hard to project coaching decisions when there's a lack of clarity on who will do the hiring. Florida has an interim president who wasn't meddlesome in the athletics during his previous tenure. Scott Strickland has more than 3 years left on his deal, and he's a respected SEC athletic director. Most in those chairs don't get to hire 3 football coaches, but a whole athletic department. Football staff overhaul is a big and an expensive haul for an interim president. The situation, Florida also looms as the biggest potential market driver. Last year, Alabama, Michigan State, Texas A&M, Washington gave off giant ripples in the carousel with power conferences, coaches filling those jobs. This situation could have a similar impact if Napier can't show consistent progress. And Arkansas, Sam Pittman is on the hot seat according to Pete Thamel. 9-4 in 2021. It has trended the wrong way, going 7-6 in 22 and 4-8 last year. The new SEC dynamics makes difficult jobs even harder. And that's why Pittman needs a bit of a trajectory correction to keep going in Fayetteville. He has one of the goofiest buyouts in college football history, as it's $8.1 million if his record since 2021 is below 500, and it's $12.15 million if it's at or above 500. He's 20-18 since 2021. So being 5-7 or better will again loom as a huge factor in his future. And of course, we know Pittman brought in fan favorite Bobby Petrino as the offensive coordinator, and it's always a risky hiring a potential replacement on staff. So, Sam Pittman, Billy Napier are the ones on the hot seat for the SEC. So, Pete Thamel, ESPN, has got 3 power conference coaches on the hot seat. Dave Aranda, Sam Pittman, Billy Napier. In G5, East Carolina, Mike Houston. Rice, Mike Bloomgren. Temple, Stan Drayton is on the hot seat. In the Mountain West, interim coach Tim Skipper is a former Fresno State player, a graduate of the school, has done 2 separate coaching stints there. He's also been at Florida, Colorado State, UNLV, and Central Michigan. We're going to keep an eye on that situation. Utah State, we got to keep an eye on that situation. In the Ball State, Mike New, who is a beloved alum, won the MAC in 2020. Ball State finished number 23 in the country in 2020, but they've gone downhill ever since. It's another case of a coach who's generally liked by the administration. He'd be owed $550,000 if he's fired after this year, which is a lot of money for Ball State. Central Michigan, Jim McElwain should be fired today. He should be fired today. I'm sorry, but that record that he has is not good enough for him to be protected by the NCAA investigation into Connor Stallions. That is a big scandal. Jim McElwain should be fired, in my opinion, and I think he probably will be once that investigation is open. Other people on the hot seat, Sonny Cumbie at Louisiana Tech, and Charles Huff of Marshall. An interesting situation. Charles Huff at Marshall is 22-17 overall. He's got a big win against Notre Dame. But Marshall has been trying to extend Charles Huff for the last couple of years, and he keeps pushing back on their attempt to extend his contract. Charles Huff bet on himself, and unfortunately for Charles Huff, Marshall has kind of dipped here since they've beaten Notre Dame. So maybe that betting on himself isn't going to work out. This is a big year for Charles Huff and for Marshall. Anyways, that's the hot seat going into 2024. Pete Thamel only has 3 power conference coaches listed. Dave Aranda, of course, of Baylor of the Big 12, Sam Pittman and Billy Napier of Arkansas and Florida in the SEC. Do you agree with him? Are there more names that should be put on the hot list? Does your coach of your favorite team, should he be put on the hot list? Put it down in the comment section below the video. I'm going to read all the comments. The coaching carousel hasn't started spinning yet, but according to Pete Thamel, it's going to start spinning early. The new world of college football, the expanded playoffs, expectations of fan bases across the country expects their team, most of those fan bases, expects their teams to be at least in the hunt to get into the college football playoffs at least 4 or 5 weeks into the season. If it doesn't happen for some of these programs, especially like Florida, there's going to be changes early in the season. Put down your comments in the comments section below the video. Until next time, from all of us at PATC to all of you, please you all take great care of each other. Thank you so very much.